Well, hello there. My name is Clem, and I own Clem'S Engine Repair Shop right here in East McKeesport. Well, the other day, your teacher, Miss Gries, come into my shop, and we got to talking. I have 16 grandchildren, and I'm always interested in what they're going to be doing when they grow up. You know, will they have good-paying jobs? Will they be doing what they really like to do? Well, she pointed to an old engine sitting over there in my shop and said to me, "What about that engine, Clem? What's wrong with it?" I said, "Well, Mrs. Gries, I'm going to crank it up and let you listen to it." So I cranked it up and let Mrs. Gries listen. I could tell while she was listening she was thinking, but I asked anyway, "Miss Gries, what are you thinking?" She said, "Well, Clem, this reminds me of what I get in my classroom every year. Students who just haven't been concentrating on taking care of their educational engine. And it's my job to help them repair it over the year and get it running in tip-top shape." Well, I said to her, "You mean like this, Mrs. Gries?" And I walked over to an engine that sounded pretty sick when they brought it in. And when I got through repairing it, it sounded pretty darn good. So I cranked it up. After listening, Mrs. Gries said, "Exactly, Clem. That's what I want my students' educational engine to sound like after they've spent a year in my classroom. They won't get far in life if they ignore their educational engine, and they end up in the real world with an engine that sounds like that old one over there. But if they get out into the real world with an educational engine that sounds like this, 80 bar the door. Their economic engine will take them places they've only dreamed of going before." Well, before Mrs. Gries left my shop, she asked me exactly what makes me so good at what I do. Well, I said, "Mrs. Gries, I'm not any smarter than any other engine repair guy. I just try to work harder and smarter. For example, I make a checklist on every engine I work on, and I'm not done until I've got every item on that checklist marked off." Well, her face lit up like a Christmas tree, and I know exactly what she was thinking. She was going to make an educational engine checklist for each of her students. Like completing assignments, check that. Like attitude, check that. Like hard work, check that. Like work smarter, check that. I mean, when she gets done working on your educational engine, you'll be moving on to middle school with an educational engine that sounds like this. And FCAT will be left in the dust. Well, good luck, Mrs. Gries, with you and your students.